Hello everyone, I want to discuss with you on the fundamentals of interrogation. Before a suspect is required to make a statement or take down his statement, there are cautionary words of interrogation that must be administered by any law enforcement agency in Nigeria deriving from the judge's rule. The cautionary words that you are not obliged to say anything unless you wish to do so. What you say may be put in writing and may be given in evidence. These are cautionary words of interrogation. And the importance or the reason why these cautionary words are bring to the attention of the suspect is that he has the right to remain silent and not to say anything. That right to remain silent is fundamental. It's a constitutional right as provided in section 35 sub 2 of the Constitution. The accused person or a suspect has the right to remain silent, and this right to remain silent is fundamental, and no one can be forced or instructed to make statements out of his own will. All statements made by a suspect must be voluntary. That statement must be voluntary. In reliance to this, the law now requires that any confessional statement or any statement made by a suspect must be by audiovisual means. All confessional statements must be by audiovisual means. Now, in reliance to this, your right to remain silent is consistent and perpetual, because even in court of law, you are not obliged to say anything when you are being prosecuted by the law. Your right to remain silent is sacrosanct. Even in court of law, you cannot be compelled or forced to say anything unless you wish to do so. That is why a prosecutor must prove his case beyond reasonable doubt. The burden of the prosecution to prove his case beyond reasonable doubt can never be achieved until such burden has been discharged. That is only when a suspect may be allowed or is obliged. These are obliged, not even compulsory. That is when the suspect may or accused person may be required to say something, having look at the evidence adduced by the prosecution. It is not imbued on him to make his statement or to say something to discountenance or counter what the prosecution has said that may necessarily implicate him in the course of prosecution or in course of litigation. So your right to remain silent is consistent and perpetual. Even in the police custody or even interrogation by police, you might wish to remain silent and not to say anything and allow the law enforcement agents to prove their matter without extracting any form of words from you. This is consistent with the right to this is consistent with the right against self-incrimination. That is why at all times you might require to remain silent unless you wish to say anything. And be mindful of one thing, that any word extracted by you by way of duress or by force is invalid and is inadmissible in law. That is why your right to remain silent is consistent and is perpetual. So any words extracted from you by the police by way of interrogation, which may be seen to